Right, I was out on Tuesday night. Went out with Ben Foster and his crew for their Christmas do, because I do the football fill-in. We had a very heated debate when we were in the Indian restaurant, and that's not because we all had hot curries. We had a very heated debate. Me and Ben Foster definitely disagreed on this, but Ben Foster's brother agreed with me. We were talking about the best player ever, and Ben Foster said Messi, and I said no, and he said, what do you mean? I said, you're not going to say Ronaldo? I said, no. The best player I've ever seen, and the best player in the world for me, is Maradona. I've never seen a player like him. I've never seen a player like him, and he probably did it coked up. Like Messi and Ronaldo, they're clean. Like Maradona, Gascoigne, all them lot, they were doing it on, they weren't even doing it fully fit. So, but I mean, the best thing I've ever seen a footballer do is, I think he was warming up for Napoli on the centre circle, and he's doing keep-ups with his left foot, and he's blasting the ball about 40 metres in the air, standing still. The ball comes down, he just kicks it up again about 10 times. You try and do that down your local park, kick the ball in the air and stay still, and then kick it in again. Oh, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable, Maradona. I'll argue with anybody. For me, Maradona is the best player that's ever played the game. Unbelievable. Unbelievable talent, and a tortured soul as well. Like, God knows what he was putting up his nose and in his mouth. And yet, in the modern game, Maradona looked after and focused on being a professional footballer. Who knows? But look, I'm open to having the debate. That's how good Messi is, but for me, it's Maradona. What do you rank Pele? Had that Brazilian flair, says Jonathan. I'll put my hands up. If somebody said to me, Mark, I saw Pele, you're wrong about Maradona, Pele's better, I'd have to just sit there and go, I can't argue with you. Not seen enough of Pele. Just didn't. I don't think there's enough of his career out there on tape. I find it hard to say Pele. I saw Jamie Carragher doing his top 5, and he had Messi, Pele, Maradona, Zidane, Ronaldo, which is just because Ronaldo didn't shake his hand. Let's be honest, Carragher's bitter. To put Zidane ahead of Ronaldo is bullshit. Zidane's brilliant, but he wasn't better than Ronaldo, no way. And Zidane wouldn't say he was either. But I don't know how Carragher's put Pele ahead of Messi and Ronaldo and Maradona, because I can't put Pele ahead of them. I haven't seen enough of his game. I don't know. I think I trust that Pele is one of the greatest players that's ever played the game, 100%. But it's the same about George Best. I trust people's opinion. I've seen clips of George Best and I've seen clips of Pele, but somebody said to me that George Best and Pele's actual career, less than 5% of it is on video, because of the era they played in. Messi and Ronaldo, more than 95% of it is on video. So it's hard to say how good Pele was when over 95% of his career we'll never know. Maradona, there's a lot more of it out there. And I remember Maradona. I remember Maradona in the 94 World Cup. DJing Piers Morgan list Ronaldo 1, Ronaldo 2. Somebody did just ask me, could you rank the best players in the world? It's difficult because I know Pele should be there, but I'm not going to lie and say I put Pele ahead of Maradona or Messi, because I haven't seen enough of his career. And although I trust everybody's opinion on Pele, it can't be disputed, I'm not going to put him at number 1 when I don't know enough about his career. So for me, best player ever has to be based a little bit on what I know. So Maradona's number 1. Messi's number 2. Ronaldo's number 3. Pele's number 4. That's what I would do, because I have to base a lot of it on what I know. But I refuse to put anybody above Maradona. I hope, fingers crossed, in my lifetime, I see another player that I can. I was saying this to somebody the other day. It gives me goosebumps. But I hope in my lifetime, however long I've got left, I actually do have a time where I go, I think they might be better than Messi, because you know what terrifies me? Have we already seen it? And this is why we should have always appreciated it. With Messi and Ronaldo, why did people start going, I hate Ronaldo and I love Messi, or I love Ronaldo and I hate Messi? Because we've definitely got 2 of the best players to ever play the game. certainly both in the top 5. And what if that's it? What if for the next 40 years we don't get anyone anywhere near that? You don't know. You don't know. Jordan Murray says Pele was the greatest. Well, based on what? How old were you in 1958? Because if you were old enough to know how great he was in 58, that you've got to have been at least 12, which means you were born in 1946, which means you are now 77. Fair play for working out how to use YouTube. But the Mbappe thing makes me laugh. For talking about TalkSport, Tony Cascarino was on TalkSport today and basically said that, was it Erling Haaland? I think he was talking about Erling Haaland. He said Erling Haaland will never be as great as Mbappe because Norway will never win the World Cup. And I'm like, what is people's obsession with the World Cup? The World Cup is so based on your passport. Like, it really is. I mean, Messi's amazing. But Messi didn't win that World Cup on his own. Maradona won the World Cup on his own in '86. Very hard to do that in the modern game. You know, one player on their own, very hard to win it now because football's moved on. If it wasn't for Martinez and other players, Messi wouldn't have won that World Cup. But you can't say that Erling Haaland won't be as good as Messi because he's never going to win a World Cup. Like, if he was Argentinian, he'd probably win a World Cup. You can't. You're basically saying that if you're not Argentinian, you can't. If you're Norwegian, you can't be a great. Bullshit. George Best is one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Never played in a World Cup. Was never going to play in a World Cup. So I'm not buying into this World Cup bullshit. I don't care how many goals Mbappe scored in the World Cup. I don't care how many World Cups he's won. He's still hiding in the French league, and he's never won the Ballon d'Or. Ronaldo and Messi had won the Ballon d'Or more times than him at his age. That's what greatness is. World Cup is about your nationality. It's about your passport. It's about how many good players your national team's got, how good your coach is. Marcus Rashford could have a World Cup winners medal if we had a decent coach. Your greatness is based on club football because you've got freedom of movement. You can go and play anywhere. You can get recruited by anybody. Greatness is not judged on winning the World Cup. That's just pure luck. I could be the best player in the world and I could be born in Luxembourg. Can I not be the best player in the world because I'm born in Luxembourg? It's bullshit. If you can win a World Cup, it's an icing on a cake. It's a cherry on a cake. I think for Messi, winning the World Cup, that just adds to everything else he's done in the game. And I'm sure Ronaldo would have loved to do it with Portugal. But it doesn't define you as a great. Club football defines you as a great. And you know what defines you as a great more than anything? It's not club football, it's not international football. What defines you as a great is what the masses think about you. Erling Haaland could score 100 goals a season and he'd go down as a great. Doesn't matter what he does for Norway. It's not people are always trying to pigeonhole football. Oh, you can only be a great if you won the World Cup. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. What if I'm the greatest striker England's ever had, but I don't like Southgate, and he says, I'm never going to pick you, and then England win the World Cup and I don't win it because he won't pick me? Johan Cruyff is one of the best ever, he never won the World Cup. Exactly, DJ. Eusebio, another one at Portugal, fantastic player, never won the World Cup. George Best, as I've said, never won the World Cup.